What up though, Phil G's, and welcome back to Lou G's Field Review. I want to go ahead and give a quick shout out to the Gridiron Blitz, Derek P. Fields, for giving me this great idea. What we're going to do today is we're going to rank the Detroit Lions draft that Bob Quinn has made. Not all of the history, just the ones Bob Quinn has made. He's had the pleasure of being a part of, I believe it's 4 drafts, including this year. So let's get to it. Right here off the back, we come up with his first draft from 2016, where he takes Taylor Decker in the first round. He takes A'Shawn Robinson in the second, Graham Glasgow in the third, Miles Killebrew in the fourth, Joe Dowell in the fifth, Antoine Williams in the fifth, Jake Rudock in the sixth, Anthony Zettel in the sixth, Jimmy Landis in the sixth, and Dwayne Washington in the seventh. Now let me just tell y'all right off the back, I just want to let you know that this draft is pretty impressive, and I'm going to tell you why. If you take a long look right here, you will notice that this person's name is not as bright as the others, and that's because he is no longer in the league. Now, this is one of the biggest regrets of Bob Quinn's drafting history, taking a long snapper in the 6th round. I just think that there should never, ever be a long snapper drafted in any draft. I don't care what, if you need him that bad, he will be there after the draft. Ain't nobody checking for no long snapper, so we'll give him a knock for that. But Taylor Decker has been okay. A'Shawn Robinson is starting to come around, but he is still technically a starter. Taylor Decker is a starter. Graham Glasgow is a starter. So I mean, this draft he got 3 starters. Anthony Zettel was a starter. So 4. So 4 starters. So you figure you get 4 starters, and then you get some role players. Joe Dowell is still on the team. I'm not gonna say he's a great backup, but he's serviceable. Miles Killebrew is still on the team. He at least contributes on special teams. Antoine Williams, Jake Rudock, and Dwayne Washington all had contributions for this team. So, how does this one rank compared to the other drafts? We're about to find out as we go through and we look at it. So we'll say 2016 draft, as of now, it's going to be pretty decent. I mean, you walk out with 3 starters and a bunch of with 4 starters with a bunch of guys who can fill some needs. You can't get mad at that. 2017. Boy, this is an interesting one. Okay. You come out with a starter in Jarrad Davis, but then there's the questionable 2nd round pick in Teez Tabor. I mean, I thought at the time when he took A'Shawn Robinson it was questionable, but whatever. But he took Teez Tabor, who still has time to produce. And you know, if you figure how many starts did he get out of this, you got 1 in Kenny Golladay, 1 in Jarrad Davis, and I mean, Jamal Agnew, if you want to count kick and punt return, would be a starter technically. So he gets 3 starters out of this draft, but there's a ton of role players. I mean, Teez Tabor is going to play a role. Jalen Reeves-Maybin is going to play a role. Michael Roberts was given a shot, and he played a role. Jeremy Ledbetter, again, played a role. Brad Kaya didn't live long with the Lions, which I wish he would have. I think he's a phenomenal talent who just didn't get an opportunity. Pat O'Connor didn't live long, but again, they are still in the league. Obviously, it's only been a few years, but they are still in the league. So if you were asking me, he walks out with 3 starters in 17. Okay, now in 2018, he comes out the gate. Frank Ragnow. Everybody went, who's that? Why did they take this guy? Oh my God, what are you doing? You can't do it. It's not right. It doesn't make sense. Blah, 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 blah. But he walks out and he gets 2 starters with Frank Ragnow and Kerryon Johnson. And if you want to argue that Kerryon Johnson technically wasn't a starter, trust me, he was, because when he was in, there was a different team versus LeGarrette Blount. Now, where you look at this draft and you say, you know, Deshaun Hand in the 4th, Tracy Walker in the 3rd, Terrell Crosby in the 5th, and then we obviously get the fullback in the 7th, but, you know, he got hurt. I look at this draft and I say, hey, he comes up the gate and he gets 2.5 starters, because I'm going to count Deshaun Hand as a half starter. Well, you know what? If you get a point for Crosby filling in, it's really more like he got 3. So we'll just give it 3 for the good football. I'm gonna leave it 2.5. Trust me, I'm going crazy. All right. So we know that we lost Nick Baldwin to an injury, but then we get to this newest draft, and he comes out the gate, and he got T.J. Hockenson, who I think would be a starter, Jelani Tavai, who I think would be a starter at inside linebacker, Will Harris, who will be a role player, Austin Bryant, who would be a role player, Amani Oruwariye, I think will be a starter. You know, I think he would get some serious playing time. Travis Fulgham, I think, is going to be a role player. Tyron Johnson, I mean, he could be a starter on the kick and punt return, so we'll give him a half one on that. And then Isaac Nanta is going to be a role player, and so is Johnson. So again, you know, you're talking about 3.5 starters. Now, if we did this rank basically off of starters, 2016 yielded his best draft, followed by 2019, then 2017, then 2018. So if we were following the rankings in terms of starters, it would go just like that. It would go 2016, 2019, 2017, then 2018. Now, here's where it gets interesting for me personally, people. The thing that stands out to me about these drafts are the depth. These are guys that he's picking up that you can clearly see have depth to this team. Terrell Crosby, a 5th-round pick in 2018, is going to get a chance to start this year in 2019. Tracy Walker is going to get a chance to start in 2019. And what that tells me is this: the pickup of Will Harris, safety out of Boston College, means that we're probably going to see this probably be the last year for Quandre Diggs. And when I go and I look at other things, when he goes out and he signs, he drafts a Austin Bryant out of Clemson, and I look at what they did with Deshaun Hand, he's already accounting for the loss of A'Shawn Robertson and Snacks Harris. And you may say, well, why you say that? Because he picked up P.J. Johnson, who could and could not make the team. But the depth things keep happening over and over and over. He goes out and get Isaac Nanta, which could spell the end to a former draft pick of Michael Roberts. But the thing I want you to see is this: all these guys played except for, and if we go back to 2016, except for the long snapper. Okay, so the long snapper didn't even contribute anything. Dwayne Washington played kick return. He got a few touches at running back. It just didn't work out. It is what it is. Anthony Zetto, I thought, was a phenomenal player in terms of, you know, a 6th-round pick who came in and gave you something. And I enjoyed what he brought to the game. I was very sad when Jim Caldwell was like, we're moving on. I'm sorry, not Jim Caldwell. When Matt Patricia was like, we're moving on from him. He doesn't fit the system and whatever. I was like, oh, man, come on. But nonetheless, for the most part, all these guys made the team. They all made the team. They all played. They all contribute. It was impressive. It was absolutely impressive. And as you can see, these guys were given a chance to play, and many of them are still in the league. And then when you go up to 2017, these guys, stupid technology. 2017. Kenny Galladay is a 3rd-round pick. I bet you a lot of teams wish they had a look back on that one. Even Jalen Reeves-Maven is still on the team. Agnew is still on the team, and he's contributing as a returner. Ledbetter. I mean, look at this. They have people who are still there. Now, O'Connor lasted until 2017, but he's gone. But nonetheless, majority of his picks are there, and the ones who are leaving are later-round picks. You know, it's just one of those things where you really look at it, and you have to say to yourself, he's been very impressive when it comes to these drafts. So I mean, I'll ask you, to go into my chat and you tell me, what year was his best draft and what was his worst? He's only been here 4 years. Rank him 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm telling you, you'll be surprised. 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. Rank them. Let me know. I can't wait to hear what you guys got. Again, this video was brought to you by the Gridiron Blitz, Derek P. Fields, who just thought it would be a cool idea to rank them. But I wanted to be able to bring a little bit of a twist to it in terms of saying, rank them based on starters, rank them based on role players, rank them overall. And overall, to me, 2019 is looking like the best year on paper, but we still gotta wait for them to play. So that's it for now, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit that like, subscribe button, and as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research.